all characters in this game are over the age of 18. Just so that, just in case you guys didn't know. The game is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety, depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Yeah, I know this. Just trigger warning. There's a lot of trigger warning. There's a lot of topics about suicide, visuals and stuff. So keep that in mind, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna just play the game the way that I want to play the game. So yes, okay? There's not gonna be any influencing by any influencers or any gameplays that I have seen. It's just, I've literally, to be completely honest with you, I've literally only watched one playthrough of this. And I don't remember what path, what things they did, and I'm not gonna base it off of anything. I'm just gonna do it my own way, and you know, that's what I'm gonna do, okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm not going for a certain path, I'm not going for a certain ending. I'm just gonna let it play out. Whatever happens is what's gonna happen, okay? So let's do it. Actually, I'm not gonna go with 11. I'm gonna go with Alex for this playthrough. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to talk together, we used to walk together on school days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just saw an idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Alex. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. By the way, Alex, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you wanted to join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting on going by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Sounds like a lot of people up in here. Byron. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I was worried you won't learn to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I knew you were happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, yo. Though. Will you at least promise you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Alright. The school day is inordinate as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Fairy must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 90% sure she only did it because she thought it'd be fun to help starting a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I was bringing in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. Probably the latter. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. Alright. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. This is very telling of what's about to happen, like, in the future. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance across the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure to meet you. This song is like gonna be engraved into my fucking mind. It was already like the first time I heard this song, it was already like engraved into my freaking skull, but it's gonna be again. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori always says some nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Alex, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, who Monica is, right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Alex. Monica smiles away. We don't know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Alex. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Personally, I'm more of a Yuri type of person. The girls have a few desks arranged to a form. I mean, I know what she's all about later, but still, right now, it's Yuri, you know? Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand, and Natsuki a little bit too. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh! Natsuki lifts the folio of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, turning for the best angle to take a bite. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Wait. Is it already starting? This is already fucking with me, bro, because it's like he's referring to the fact that the game was already out, like the other version of the game. Are you kidding me? Oh jeez. Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayori did. Well, maybe. But not for you, you know? Dummy. Yeah, that's why I like Natsuki, because she uses the word dummy. And dummy is one of my favorite words. Alright, alright. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic, and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot tea, a cup of tea, help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a passion for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. Well, make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm impressed. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the Blade Club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab their attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festivals that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Oh my god, this is gonna be horrible for me because I am fucking dyslexic at times. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Alex, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking about seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I could relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well have a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, what's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud," and give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have new member, I think it will help us get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Alex? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said that I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. Awful girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Alex, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? Oh no. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then, that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember today's assignment. Tonight's assignment, write a poem to bring to the next club meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Alex, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Alex, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. With that, the two of us depart the classroom and make our way home. That way, the whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Oh, fuck. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. All right, first task here. It's time to write a poem. Pick your words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Notice that we cannot do a poem for Monika. Or at least I think. But this is a big fucking decision that we need to make here. Because we need to choose between one of these three. Now, knowing that I know what happens to Sayori, right? I know that outcome. Part of me is like, go with Sayori and see what happens, because I don't know what happens if you know, try to appease to her. But if we're being real here, I said earlier that I would choose either Yuri or Natsuki. Alright? Now, the playthrough that I did watch had Yuri. I kinda want to go with Natsuki, because that is like one of the least amount of like playthroughs I've seen of Natsuki. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Natsuki. Let's go with Natsuki. Fluffy. Boop. Let's see. Cute. What about charm? Okay, that was Sayori. What about spinning? Okay. Now what about jumpy? I think she would use a word such as socks. Puppy, definitely. Oh, poof. Who could forget poof? Let's see. Another word that I see her use is probably swimsuit? Giggle? I could definitely see her use a word such as milk. Seems kind of like that. Lollipop. Okay. Sunny. Okay, that was not kawaii. Definitely kawaii. Are you kidding me? Sparkle. Okay, no. Sweet. Okay, fuck. Oh, we're getting hit hard by this, right? Chocolate. Kitty. Doki Doki. Yes, Doki Doki. Definitely Doki Doki. So I think we got the poem that we wanted. Hi again, Alex. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Alex. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. I agree, dude. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plugs back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Alex always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even telling me, asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? Oh, Sayori. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I'm gonna be a little jealous. How come? You and Alex can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems so oblivious to the weird situation she just puts me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I was thinking... I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she'll think I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some schedule activity for the club, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. This little like reading time with Uncle Alex over here. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I cannot help but notice her intense expressions like she's waiting for her chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki uttering I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed with something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Frickin' Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki cites a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. Then she turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. This probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Alex. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking, animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly mo. Don't just stand there. Ooh, almost said ooh. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall behind the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I'd take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I wouldn't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometime after Maybe sometimes after I already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing really happened yet, so I can't talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something if that didn't have plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginnings is just simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with the guy that ice cream shot, but that just helps you get to know about the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like, when they get into all their backstories and when some romance starts to happen, that's truly what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Ah, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Ooh. Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. Ah, this chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, and if she doesn't want to, as if she doesn't want to admit to something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in manga. I feel bad for anyone that's that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, out of all the hobbies to pick up from manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? Yo. New profile picture? I think we have a new profile picture coming through on Discord. We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Ah, sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I couldn't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Ugh. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time, but it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it's paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that involves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? I like how she has like the little shark tooth, dude. Like the little, like the little nibbler tooth. So, Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... Oh my fucking god, I can't read, dude. I shouldn't be talking about that. Just finished this chapter. Yeah, I've been reading a lot. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usually bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words that feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Aw, that's so wholesome. Okay everyone, are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry, I just need to make sure that we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but... Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Eh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It wouldn't take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind in some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? You don't want to fuck with Natsuki, dude. Like, she makes cupcakes and everything. She reads manga. You don't know what other type of manga she's reading, bro. You know? You don't know if she's reading fucking Junji Ito shit, coming up with strategic strategies to dispose of bodies. Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, do you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relic section ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically put all their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's do Natsuki, yeah? I told Natsuki I was interested in her poem anyways, yesterday. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. Oh, you don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Alright, the poem is called Eagles Can Fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Damn. Really think about that. Monkeys can climb? Wow. That's such an inspirational quote. Horses can race? Jesus. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Man. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. That's all people can do. People can try. And that's it. That's all we could do. But we're never gonna be eagles, crickets even. Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, dude. Eagles can fly, motherfucker. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things could be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight onto the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling on the last line. See, that's why I fucking chose Natsuki, dude. Because Natsuki, like, she's deep like that, you know? She, one minute you think you know about Natsuki, but then the next, she hits you with that, and it's like, god damn, bro, Natsuki, like, definitely knows what's up. So you did. I guess more went into than I realized. That's what I mean. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. So, I don't know. Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna show mine to Yuri, because I feel like she's gonna fucking roast me, dude. Alright, let's go. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Monkia, Siri, Urine, Natsuki, and 10. That's fucking amazing, dude. Here we go. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? Ugh. Ooh. I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it has been several minutes and we haven't really gone anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. It also helps that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind them. Yuri smiles dreamingly as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, ooh, this is kind of deep. This is kind of dark. Ghosts. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present while living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Nah, that's too deep, bro. Eagles can fly, takes the cake. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like your poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Alex. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. Remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. And that's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think of that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. And the last person. Let's show our poem to Monica, yeah? Hi, Alex. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Alex. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Alex. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write, and she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There's a lot of poems and stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Every time I see the it makes me want to do the fuckboy fucking laugh. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh man, this poem is long, dude. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. Oh, I just fucking read that. But it's too late. My retinas already scorched with the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Fuck, dude. They need to make this poem into a movie. Get fucking M. Night Shyamalan, Shamalama Ding Dong on this fucking... on this poem, dude. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of the style. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay. Well, Sayori is next. Alright. This is a good poem, Alex. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it's impressed me. To be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it too seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how Fuck, I can't fucking read, dude. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Alex. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not really sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Alright, Sayori. Let's see. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That line right there, the I want breakfast? Ooh, that's so deep, dude. That just breaks all the barriers, dude. It's fucking crazy. Sayori is crack, dude, at poems. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thank you for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little bit more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even they're just being nice. There's no way my poems could stand up to theirs. There is a literature club after all. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. I cross the room. Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each other. Let me read that again. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yuri says, cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Alex did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, of course, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Alex liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. It was quite deep, to be completely honest with you. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. The song? That's not what I... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Alex appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Alex started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, and if they just noticed I was standing there. Alex, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should just jump out of the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Alex. Wait, there's no reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning them most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also waste. You don't understand that. You understand that, right, Alex? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Oh my god. Why do they have to fucking make me do this, bro? Help me, Sayori. Natsuki. Okay, here's the thing. If I choose Natsuki, she's gonna like me a whole lot more. If I choose Yuri, then obviously my path kind of deviates, but we're not going with Yuri, we're going with Natsuki. We're sticking with Natsuki. If I say help me, Sayori, it's like kind of like me. Like if I was there personally, I feel like I would do that. Help me, Sayori. But I gotta pick, man. I gotta pick Natsuki. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I rack my brain into an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it didn't it? It did, didn't it? Shows how much you know. That's not Natsuki. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. and sharing it could definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism could lead to something really pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Alex. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a deep breath. I think about... Ugh. Natsuki glances over the room. Would everyone please stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a hard time with it than when she boasted. Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looked away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori. I'll go make some tea. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone, especially for you, Alex. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we get a little too used to. So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere? No, not at all. Not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room, so maybe you could take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Alex, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more than about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Yes! Anime style. Alex, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It surely has been a while since Sayori and I have spent much time like this. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Alex, it's nice that I get to spend a little time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Yuri still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Ooh. Alex, what are you talking about, bro? So you're a married man, man. Well, just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pass Sayori on the shoulders. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to see Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna save it here, and we're gonna leave it at that. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. This will be the first episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. So thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate that. Doki fucking Doki, dude. Indeed.